Hey guys and ghouls, welcome back to the Cozy Ghost. I'm your host, October, and welcome back to Hiveswap Friendsim. Let's get back to Zabid. We were getting there. Last time we fucked up by answering Sarava, so let's let it go to voicemail. You decide to just let the call go to voicemail. You're busy with a different friend right now, and you can just call them back on your drive home. Or, not home, but closest you've got right now. It'll give you something to do besides sleep. You mess around on your phone for a little bit, filling out your profile and your chitter. Alien invasion of 1, just here I guess. It's honestly the best you can come up with. You aren't quite sure how your age would translate to troll years, sweeps, so you don't bother with that. You've already gained some more followers. Sarava retweeted your intro tweet. Or chirp, whatever. Zabid comes back with a tray of snacks and 2 glasses of something bright red that you hope isn't Fago. Or blood. I love Fago, but that goes without saying at this point. Hey, who are you talking to? I heard your plumbers go off. You tell him that you weren't talking to anybody, he let the call go to voicemail. Does he really think you're the kind of person who would take a call from someone else while you're having a hang sesh? Heck no. Okay, but I totally do that. Because, like, if you're in the other... I'm sorry. Oh, you didn't have to do that! Zabid says that, but he's obviously incredibly happy that you did. He sets the tray down and hops up on the couch next to you. So, what do you want to do? I have a bunch of really cool stuff you could check out, but I don't want to make you just do whatever I wanted. I know we barely know each other. You tell him that whatever he wants to do is fine with you. You aren't picky in any sense of the word. Zabid seems a little at sea by your lack of an opinion, but eventually he puts on the first episode of a pirate show. This is nice. It's nice to just chill for a little while. But you barely get through the opening credits before Zabid changes his mind and puts on a show about space pirates instead. Then he gives up on that too. He keeps looking at you for input, but the extent of your experience with troll pop culture is Remela's knockoffs and that one shitty romance flick Polypod took you to see. You're not informed enough to have an opinion. You are seriously down for whatever. Zabid does the same thing with video games for a while, becoming increasingly more distressed. You feel empathy at his plight, but also mild annoyance. You understand this unreasonable fear of beefing it in front of your friends. You feel like that pretty much all the time. You eventually suggest to Zabid that you could just watch the last thing he watched on GrubTube. Zabid goes a delicate gray color that you've come to realize is the troll version of a Blanche. Yeah, we could do that for sure, but you know, a guy's GrubTube is cute is, kind of personal. Not that I don't trust you. If you can't trust randos you met online invited to your house, who can you trust, right? You feel that way too. You've also felt the overwhelming urge to throw yourself into the arms of strangers since you crash landed down here. You tell Zabid that you aren't going to judge him. You don't judge your friends. An overwhelming look of trembling gratitude comes over him, and once again you feel an uncomfortable pulse of empathy. You're used to being the desperate one. You aren't sure how you feel about this turnabout, all this social power. Okay. The two of you scroll down through history on his GrubTube account, and you find yourself choked up by the incredible trust he's showing in you right now, letting someone behind the curtain. There doesn't really seem to be anything worth getting stressed over. No porn or anything. He does have a lot of videos of Sarava, specifically ones where they're actually on camera. Oh yeah, they're so cool. It's so rad that you guys are tight. I really want to meet them someday. He sighs. And he sighs again, a little louder. You catch on to your part in this bit and tell him that you can probably figure out a way to make that happen. You hope you don't have to follow through on that, though. Sarava's a busy guy, and you aren't sure they actually let anyone into their hive. Well, besides you. But you seem to be the exception to a number of roles. You keep that last part to yourself. The rest of the videos in his recent history are about a band called Hatchet to Dance. Music videos, interviews, compilations of vlogs. You ask him what all this is. You've never heard of HQD? Really? They're so cool, they're my fave! I mean, he gets shifty-eyed. I mean, whatever, they're alright, I guess. The music is kind of catchy, they're pretty dope group dynamic. You mentioned that all of them seem to be pretty good looking, too. Really? You think so? You point out a guy with tall horns that swoosh into hooks and a lot of white hair that falls into his eyes. This guy is particularly handsome. Him? I mean, he's okay, I guess, if you're really basic. Not that I think you're basic or anything! He shows you some of the music videos. They have really high production values and extremely elaborate sets. All of the band members sing and dance and get very close to kissing each other. Oh yeah, this is definitely Trollian BTS. I was a BTS fan back in the day. Not like a huge one, but like I thought the music videos were dope. He's been really nervous about showing you this. His deep dark secret was that he likes music videos. Is being into pretty pop stars some kind of cultural taboo? Not really, just it's kind of lame, and I just really want you to like me. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. And you do like him. You just wish you wouldn't say shit like that. It's embarrassing. And also it reminds you that you yourself have gone around doing pretty much the same thing. Pretending to agree with everything your prospective friends say, lying, saying you're into things that you aren't. Just all around being a phony. The circumstances are different for you, though. You're an alien. This is a hostile territory. You don't have a hive or lucis or even horns. So it's way less pathetic for you to be like this than it is for Zabid, right? Deep down, you know you're full of shit. You're just coming up with reasons to excuse behavior in yourself that you condemn in others. You hang your head in shame. Zabid, who is not privy to your internal monologue, looks confused. Is it possible that you're doing the wrong thing in your eternal quest for friends? Could it be that, before you can spiral any further into a full-blown existential crisis, you hear a noise from outside that you really, really don't like? Several noises, in fact. A crash, followed by a thump. Followed by a, "Get out of here, you fucking piece of shit, you thief!" Oh dear. Zabid scrambles around to look over the back of the couch. You can just make out a shape through the window. Hey, this is a totally wild question that I typically would never ask a potential friend, but did you steal that scuttle buggy? Funny story. You didn't know how else to get out here. You did it for him, for your nascent friendship. Oh wow, nobody's ever stolen a scuttle buggy from me before, huh? Did you forget to take the GPS chip out, though? Because I think whoever you stole it from found it. GPS chip. Right. Fuck. This is not an auspicious start to your life of crime. Maybe you weren't quite ready to go it alone yet. Another crash and rattle. Sounds like someone's taking pieces out of Zabid's hive. You get up and start for the door. Hey, what are you doing? You can't go out there. They look big. And they sound huge. You'll get killed. Right, he's definitely got a point there, but whoever is outside seems intent on demolishing his hive brick by brick, so they're gonna get in eventually anyway. Better for you to go out there now and face the music so at least one of you gets out of this. Zabid stares at you. Weird, globby, golden tears pool at the corner of his eyes. You would do that for me? Nobody's ever offered to die for me before, and that's so nice. Yeah, you're pretty nice. Also pretty idiotic, considering you're about to go give yourself up to a big angry troll whose car you absolutely stole. Well, it's been fun while it lasted. Actually, it's been mostly terrible. Oh well, goodbye, cruel world. Wait! You have one hand on the doorknob when Zabid's shout rings out against the walls and ceiling. No one is touching my new friend! Outside, the buzzing rises to a rattling crescendo, so loud that it no longer sounds like animals, it sounds like weather or a fighter jet. The intruder screams. You wince, but you're also overwhelmed by gratitude and excitement. Zabid did that. For you. The screams stop after a few seconds, and the buzzing gradually recedes. You and Zabid are left staring at the door, then at each other. Behind you, GrubTube is autoplaying an H2D video. Interview. Good lord. Little ambient crackles of the white electricity you've come to associate with psychics wreaths Zabid before that fades too. Did he seriously telekinetically gather up a bunch of bees and just throw them? No, that sounds hard and potentially dangerous for the bees. I more just asked them nicely. I'm bad at it, though. Sometimes it doesn't work. Well, it sure worked this time. Yeah! Zabid nods, then he nods again. Yeah, that was pretty cool, right? Yes, King, that was really cool. The two of you venture outside to see what's going on. Nothing is going on. The night is quiet. The car is exactly where you left it, and there's no sign of the bees or the intruder. So either they ran away, or got stung so many times they dissolved into sludge. You feel another pang of conscience, but it's not enough to cover up your ecstatic surge of happiness when you see how chuffed Zabid is to have set some bees on a guy. You tell him you're grateful. Ooh, don't get that close. You think about adding that you're proud of him, but you don't want to literally make him explode. You let him hug you instead. Guess this means you have a scuttle buggy now? Yeah, spoils of war. You want some buttery exploded kernels? I make them myself. Well, I put the kernels in a pot and explode them. You tell him that sounds great. He's honestly pretty fun to visit, minus the sudden attack. You're having a really nice time, and that part was honestly entirely your fault. He should quit putting himself down so much and being such a desperate piece of shit. You mean that in the nicest way possible, and it's pretty good advice in general. You know, just have floating around out there. Aww. Finally we can have bee friends! Oh, finally we can be friends! That's cute as hell. That's adorable! I love that. That was really sweet, actually. That's one of my favorite endings so far. But we do have some bad endings to get. Ask more about where he lives. You say it must be nice to live in the countryside. You mentioned what you did that you did get to see some of rural Alternia when you met Skyla, and it seemed beautiful. Zabid's face twists into a grimace. Yeah, I guess. Sensing this is a moment for sympathy, you tell him you're sure his friends would come visit if they were able to make the trek. Sure. Sounds like you did visit another troll that lives in the countryside, though. So I guess you thought she was cooler than me. It's whatever. I don't need my friends to pick me first. You struggle for words. You want to reassure him, but you also don't know him that well yet. You weakly protest that you didn't mean to say Skylar was cooler than him. You didn't even know him then. Maybe you'll be able to visit him in the future, too. Yeah, maybe. I've heard that before. He's not rejecting you, but you get the sense that a wall has been raised. You're sure you're going to keep chatting with Zabid from time to time, but you get the sense you're never going to become a true friend. You're stuck in an acquaintanceship limbo. Looks like you failed to earn his trust. That stings. Damn, that's a quick ending. He seems really insecure. But that means that we are done with that volume. That volume was done quick, and we got it over with. So, I'm going to end this episode here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye!